Okay, I'm going to briefly review how to simplify non-perfect squares. So we have the square root of 80, and the square root of 80 is not a perfect square. Here's one way we know. 8 times 8 is 64, so 64 is a perfect square. 9 times 9, the next integer, is 81, and it just passed 80. So we know that 80 is not a perfect square. So what we're going to do, the best way to do this is to put the prime factors of 80 in under the root sign. So 2 times 40, 2 times 20, 2 times 10, and then 2 times 5. So we would have 2 times 2 times 2 times 2 times 5. Make sure that you're checking on a calculator or with yourself. 2 times 2 is 4, times 2 is 8, times 2 is 16, times 2 is 5. So we know that that equals this. That's the same thing as saying the square root of 80. Well, what we also know is the square root, when we know the square root of something, we can simplify it to a whole number. Well, the square root of, so if we take 4 outside the root, 4 means the same thing as 2 times 2 or 2 squared. 2 squared means the same thing as 2 times 2. So what we want to do is we want to find pairs of numbers. That means the same thing as 2 squared times 2 squared times 5. Notice, if you look over here, 2 squared means the same thing as 4, so something squared, you can square it if you want, or to undo squaring something is the square root. So when you take the square root of something squared, those two undo each other, and the base number, remember the bottom number is the base number, but the base number comes outside of the root sign. So here we have another 2 squared, and then this right here again is going to come on the outside of the root, and what we have left is just the 5 underneath the root sign. Well, 2 times 2 is 4, so 4 root 5. Now we might have a monomial underneath the root sign. A monomial is either a number by itself or a number all attached to variables, all in multiplication. Notice they're all right next to each other without a plus or subtract sign. Well, we're going to do the same thing as we did before. We're going to take those things, the term underneath the radical sign, and we're going to put it into prime factorization. So 8 means 2 times 4, 4 means 2 times 2. So we have 2 times 2 times 2, and x cubed, remember when you multiply powers of the same base, you add the exponents, so x times x times x, and then we've got a y. Well, again, you're going to circle pairs. Because remember, 2 times 2 means 2 squared. X times x means x squared. So the square rooting of something squared, the base number, comes out. The square rooting of something squared, the base number comes out. If you don't have any other pairs, what is left on the inside of the radical sign is we have 2xy, and then on the outside we have 2 times x, which is 2x, square root 2xy. And it's that simple, and you're done.